Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Funhaus. My guests today include James and Elise Williams, all the way from Los Angeles, California.
Do you like how Adam. It's nighttime where we are?
Yeah, something entirely different. And Ryan, who's living in squalor. No,
what up?
Ryan Haley. Right now in the world, everything is getting delayed. We're going to be talking about that. But first, let me let you know that today's episode is sponsored by Raycon. You can get 15% off your order at buyraycon.com/filmhouse. We'll be hearing more from them later. Let's get to the show. So, like I said, yeah, world-changing events. I'm really looking forward to the day where we don't have to keep talking about this thing, but right now it's affecting all sorts of things, and it trickles down, much like the economics that work oh so well. And I'm not trying to get political here. I'm sorry. Don't look at her. You look at me.
I don't know what that. I don't know that mentioning economics is inherently political, but okay.
Sometimes it feels that way. But anyway, it got to the point now where it started with a movie we were all looking forward to, A Quiet Place 2, and then it hit Part two, the quieter place, but then it hit our beloved Trolls World Tour.
No,
and we thought it couldn't get any worse. We thought it couldn't get any worse.
Well,
the last thing. Go ahead, sorry.
I was gonna say, for me, it started with Mulan because I was really genuinely looking forward to Mulan.
Is that a film?
A film, James, is when you go to the movie theater and they show a picture on the wall. You have the popcorn. Your friend sits right next to you.
Yo, you shouldn't be sitting next. You should be sitting far away. People gave me crap for buying five seats between me and everyone else, but who's laughing now?
He's Gen C. He's Gen C. Gen C. Corona.
So, well, Elise, have you considered just watching the probably superior animated version?
I have.
And?
Haven't.
Okay.
But will now. So I may honor you.
Mm-hmm.
Mulan looked like a different enough movie that it was worth watching as a live action feature.
Yeah, I think that was sort of the consensus. One time at the office, when we were still allowed to go into the office, Ryan cornered me in the kitchen and said, "You knew Mulan or old Mulan?" And I could smell gin on his breath.
No. Hey, I will see any live action samurai film. I don't give a shit if it's animated or not. All right. But
Ryan, is that a free Chinese food restaurant calendar behind you, or is it an In Bruges poster?
It's an In Bruges poster. Maybe my webcam.
Hard to tell. It's hard to tell. Yeah, the bit rate on that webcam is gonna lead us to believe that it might be something else.
That does remind me, though. I am hungry, and I will get Chinese food after this. Thank you, Elise.
Okay, that's one of those rare In Bruges posters that was only at a bus stop that one time.
I know they don't give those out to many people. You know, you gotta go to the city.
Went missing.
You gotta get it through the city.
Yeah.
But yeah, so right now, actually, a little bit of good news. I was looking up in our general area, drive-ins are still a thing that you can go visit on weekdays and weekends. Most of the swap meets are closed for obvious reasons.
Do you guys want to go to a drive-in? We should
absolutely
do that and film a BTS where we never actually interact with each other, but we're all parked in cars near each other.
You have to park 10 feet away from each other. That's the rule. You're not allowed to get out of your car. And you have to see a double feature of Hunt and The Invisible Man. If anyone's down for that, please let me know.
Yeah,
yes,
100%.
Absolutely.
100%.
Yeah.
Okay. We have to drive an hour and a half out of the city, but
is
yes,
it City of Industry?
About there, yeah. I've been there once.
To.
It's a cool experience.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Man, we should do that. We should do a film house from beautiful City of Industry.
But that's obviously quieter. The Quietest Place was not the only movie hurt by any of this. I'm going to just go down a list of all movies that have been delayed. You guys stop me.
Rip the Band-Aid off. Just rip the Band-Aid off. Just start with the worst one.
Okay.
Start with the one that you know the matters.
Get it over
most.
with.
Stop me if there's anyone you want to talk about. But first, Ghostbusters Afterlife, originally coming out on July 10th, pushed to March 5th, 2021. What do you do? It's like a whole year.
I
Jack
actually
Patillo
don't care
weeps.
about that one at all.
Okay.
So that one
Thank
doesn't
you.
bother me. Who cares?
I'm kind of the same way. People were feeling emotionally charged by that trailer. Didn't do it for me. I'm
Well, I
sorry
felt
to
the
say.
opposite. It emotionally drained me. I'm like,
I
what is
kept
this?
Wow.
I kept waiting for the point in the trailer where like it stopped focusing on the kids and then it showed like an old jalopy pull up and then some boots stepped out and then it was, it was
Rick
the ghost.
Moranis.
Yeah, it was Rick Moranis. And that's what I was hoping would happen. But then the trailer just kept going and I was like, oh wait, no, it is just a movie about Ghostbusters. So
Yeah, you know what I couldn't wait for watching the whole trailer? One joke or funny thing to happen.
Well, you gotta save it for the movie,
it is
Ryan.
just like
Come on.
it's a drama about a family or something, and they're kind of like
there's
kinda
Paul Rudd
telling-
jokes. Paul
Yeah.
Rudd's a cutie, and he does his jokes where he's like, "This is a Ghostbuster trap" or something. I don't know. I can't do Paul Rudd.
Ghostbusters is supposed to be funny. This trailer is not. Yeah, you're right,
No.
Adam. They could be saving it, but I doubt it.
This
Oh,
is
yeah,
J.J. Abrams. This feels like a J.J. Abrams.
No, this is
Well,
Jason Reitman.
I know, but Jason Reitman is protege
But
of
Jason
J.J.
Reitman
Abrams.
writes comedies that you laugh about later. You go see the movie, and then as on the way out of the movie that you saw 3 weeks later, you go, "Oh, that was clever." He was like the Marlboro Man.
Well, the problem is too. They go, we want like a Stranger Things type vibe. Just hire everyone from Stranger Things
For real.
and then they get Finn Cockhart and everyone's good to go.
I mean, I think he's fine in it. I think he's probably
but he's being
a good
typecast.
charismatic as a kid.
as 80s kid.
As 80, yeah, as feel good Super 8 kid,
As
basically.
80s
I like
twink.
him as feel good
I
Super
like
8
him.
kid.
Yeah,
I
I
have
like
nothing
him. I think he's
against
good.
him. He's more of a Game Grumps
He's
fan.
great
but
in
that's
it.
okay.
He's awesome in it. I like it when he can cuss, man, in an R-rated movie.
Yeah, he's a tough 80s twink.
I'm going to toss this out here right now. We need to do remake of Good Son. Get Finn Wolfhard in it as
Yeah.
he needs to redo his image as a bad boy.
Oh,
Yeah,
so who's the
yeah.
good boy then? Who's the Elijah Wood?
We bring back Elijah Wood because he looks
It's
the same.
Zach. I was
Well,
gonna say
no.
Zac Efron.
Zac
Oh,
Efron.
okay. Well, everyone's in their 40s now. So, okay. I'm just trying to figure Finn Wolfhard. He's too old, though, to play the McAllister
It's
role,
the
right?
kid from Hunt for the Wilders People.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Deadpool kid?
What's he been in lately? Yeah, Deadpool kid.
Okay. Probably nothing. He probably walks down the street in New Zealand. They go, say the line. And he goes, I don't remember it.
So on this subject, Stranger Things is getting delayed. I think like production even might be getting delayed because of this. And that raises a good question, which is these kids are meant to age along with the series. But
shit.
are they going to have to alter the timeline a little bit? And, say they wanted the next season to take place in like 88 or whatever. Is it going to have
Right.
to take place
Look,
in like
if the Irish
91?
if the Irishman taught us anything, Elise, it's that you can make anybody be any age you freaking want. All right.
No,
So
you
if those
can't.
kids need to be 15 and a half and not 16, then we can do it. All right. It's 2020, baby.
You're right. So this is this is the way we don't let the virus win.
Moving on down our list of things that we're okay with getting delayed. The Uncharted movie, which has basically been delayed since, for whatever reason, someone opened their mouth and said, what if we made a movie or a video game that's based on a movie into I want to kill myself just trying to figure out that release structure. You liked Indiana Jones. You liked Joe versus the volcano. They're already there. And you can play it.
Joe versus the volcano. It is interesting how this is like when Uncharted came out, you're like, holy cow, this is the first time I feel like I've really gotten to play as Indiana Jones in a video game. There have been Indiana Jones games, but they don't feel like Indiana Jones. And the idea of then going, what if we turn that into a movie seems like so weirdly translated backwards.
Yeah, and the Tomb Raider movie has already had its chance 3 times, and the last one wasn't so bad, but still, I think it's just keeps proving that it's like you already have your romancing the stones and your police academies. We don't need any more as they travel, sexy
hold
exotic
on.
locations.
We can always have more police academies.
Amen. I agree.
Have you guys been watching Police Academy as well on Netflix?
Is there a
Ever
TV
watched-
show now?
No, there's
No, there's just-
but that's a
just
great
on there.
idea. Police Academy 2 at least is on Netflix, and it is
got it.
not as funny as I remember.
Well, okay. I mean, gotta take those with a grain of salt. There's moments. If you you could make a full length movie of all 6 of the funniest moments.
I think the first Police Academy is great, but I think two is a little iffy. Their first assignment, and then Citizens on Patrol is when it gets back. It understands itself again.
Michael Winslow came into our office one time. Sorry, Ryan, I just want to tell this quick story. But Michael Winslow, the guy who does all the noises.
You don't need to. Yeah, you don't need to explain who he is. We all know.
He was being marketed as being. He did all the sound effects for this mobile video game that had come out, 2011-ish or whatever. And he came in and he did some video stuff with us. He had the worst breath ever.
Well, hey, it's hard to do those sound effects with your voice. It creates weird spit things or whatever.
I was wondering, is that a thing with voice actors where they're like, well, I can't brush my teeth or chew any gum because it ruins my pitch.
The friction of your.
You know what it is? Yeah. He probably every night when he's supposed to brush his teeth, he just pantomimes it and does a mechanical toothbrush, and then he forgets that he actually isn't brushing his teeth.
Okay, so he's putting on the toothpaste and he goes, and
there's a moment in Police Academy 2 where it's trying to showcase his fantastic ability to do sound effects, and you'd think you would do something like some guy is gonna like hold up a gas station, but he makes the sound of like a tank show up or something. No, it's just 2 strangers on a date with each other. And they're sitting down for dinner, and then the guy goes to put a salad in his mouth, like a piece of salad. But when he puts it in his mouth, Michael Winslow, who's one table away, goes like, oh, and makes it sound like he's chewing in a really obnoxious way.
These people.
Yeah.
And then like his stomach's growling and stuff, and he's like, oh, I beg your pardon. And his date is completely put off. And she's like, how could you, it ends with her going, how could you do this to me? And then, and then he's just giggling off to the side. I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. At some point, somebody needs to turn and go, excuse me, sir, could you keep it down? We're trying to have dinner.
Shut the fuck up, Michael Winslow.
Take a breath, man. Okay, well, that movie's been, it says delayed till October. It went from March 5th, 2021 to October 8th, 2021, but I don't think it was ever coming out anyway, so...
Well, yeah, that's actually the point I was going to bring up, was that this is kind of like the mythical, what do you call it, Atlantis of video game movies, because it's had like literally 10 directors or something, like David O. Russell and Daniel Trachtenberg, and now there's... I forget the new dude, but
Woody Allen.
Ruben Fleischer, I think, is the new one. Either way, it's got a million directors, a million different stars, and now it's got in the middle of this coronavirus. It's the new Don Quixote movie. That will never get filmed.
What happened to that movie? What happened?
It got made, and it came out, and no one gave a shit.
Yeah, well, it got a documentary about it that was probably better than the movie.
It came out, probably. And then it turns out that he hadn't acquired the rights correctly, and so Terry Gilliam was unable to make any money off of its sales or whatever. Like someone after all of that like screwed up some accounting thing, and then so now it's not even his movie anymore.
Terry Gilliam just cares that it exists. He wants it out in the world. He's an artist.
He probably wants to pay his rent, I assume.
He doesn't care about money. He's a Monty Python guy. But you're probably right.
Like a few weeks ago.
No, that wasn't Terry Gilliam.
Terry Jones?
Yeah.
Terry Jones died.
Oh, you get your Terrys mixed up. You ever see the show Terriers on FX? No one did.
So what's next? What was delayed next?
I'm gonna put all 3 of these movies into one bucket because it's all male and female power fantasy bullshit. Okay. It's Wonder Woman, Black Widow, and No Time to Die, the James Bond movie.
I want to see all those.
Me too, actually. I'm really excited that I was kind of rooting for Wonder Woman and Black Widow. But James Bond, same thing. That one is probably one I want to probably like, I don't know. What do you call it? Like, I can wait on that one because it's the last one. It's a bit more important. We're going to get 1,600 more Wonder Woman movies and Black Widows. And all
Here's the
things.
question. If these were released digitally, would you want to watch them or would you rather wait and see them in a theater?
I would pay no more than $800 to see these movies.
Okay, all right.
I would wait to see James Bond in the theater, probably wait to see Wonder Woman, and probably rent Black Widow.
I'm not precious about any of these. I would rent all 3.
I would probably.
I might rent Wonder Woman.
Was that a
I
leading
don't know.
question? I don't.
Yeah. I would probably
see-
rent Wonder Woman and like I would do the thing if it wasn't even the rent thing. If it's the thing that they're doing with some of these in theater releases where it's like a full ticket price to watch it at home, I would pay full ticket price to watch Black Widow and Wonder Woman. And then I would really debate whether or not I wanted to watch No Time to Die
Really?
at home.
We're the opposite.
Yeah. No, because I want to see it in theaters.
Oh, okay, good. All right, yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
saying. You got to see James Bond in a theater.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, but
that's-
then it would kill me if it's like, oh, I have to wait whatever 8 months for that, and I could watch it now.
And I've seen it.
And at least I've seen it several times by this point.
And I just keep making faces like,
Wonder Woman looks so good. Like
It
I feel like
Yeah, it's
the
doing the
original
Thor
Wonder Woman
Ragnarok
was like
kind of thing.
a surprise good. You're like, oh wow, this is. I mean, she was good, and she was one of the good parts of Batman v Superman. But like, this movie is a surprisingly well put together movie. Wonder Woman 1984 looks really. The trailer, the music in the trailer with the New Order cover, and the fact that like they have Pedro Pascal as a villain in this, and Kristen Wiig is going to add like actual comedy as opposed to her like goofy sidekick from the first movie. Like, I don't know. I think it's gonna be sick.
Oh yeah, what happened to her? You think they're gonna have her in the movie at all? Her World War I friend who's dead?
No, she's dead.
Okay,
Dawn from The Office.
is that who it was?
Yeah, she's from the UK
British Office.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, there's The Office, and then there's The Office. So please say
Office.
it correctly. So yeah, pretty big bummer there. Wonder Woman's been pushed to August 14th. No Time to Die has been pushed to November 12th, and Black Widow has a unspecified release day.
I wonder if Wonder Woman is going to hold up to her performance in the Imagine viral video she came out with.
Oh yeah.
I think she's hoping that will all be forgotten. Yeah. What was it called? Tone Deaf, the music video?
Right.
Forget. That was good. Moving on to if you have any kids, they're going to be real upset. Minions: The Rise of Gru has been hit by COVID. Sorry.
Are you
sorry,
fucking
Sam.
shitting me?
I mean, that one they can airdrop from above onto DVD and probably make a lot of people happy, I assume.
Yeah.
This feels like the one. If there was one, you were gonna release.
Yep.
This is the one, right? Like,
Straight to Nintendo Switch.
Are you saying just chance it, put in the theaters?
Well, no, I just say like you make this on demand or whatever. I think parents are gonna be
yeah.
like, oh, anything to
Yeah.
get my kids distracted from something for 2 hours. I'll pay any price.
You sure? I mean, I think a lot of people out there want to see the origin story of Gru, a character we have grown to love over the course of 87 movies.
I might see
God.
this one. I might see this one only because that I only see every other movie. So I saw the first Despicable Me, and I didn't see the second one, but then I did see Minions, and then I started it several times because it was on Netflix and managed to never get through Despicable Me 3, which is what it should have been called. But now it means that I've skipped another one, so I'll probably end up watching this on a plane or something.
Well, yeah, and this is also, it's a reboot because they're taking us back to basics.
Is this a reboot, though?
Yeah, they're taking us back to the basics origin.
I don't think it's a reboot. He's got the exact same scarf on.
It's a prequel.
I mean, they're all prequels at this point, right? Because that's all they've been.
1, 2, 3 are sequels, and then Minions is a prequel, and then this is a prequel post Minions sequel prequel. It's a prequel to Despicable Me and a sequel to Minions.
Wait, I thought that Gru invented the Minions in
He
a
did
lab.
not. He did not
No.
because you thought that because you haven't seen Minions on a plane like I did.
The MCU is so confusing.
Well, oh shoot, would you look at that? We have spent more than 90 seconds talking about Minions. I'm going to move through the rest of these real quick. We're almost through the entire list of the big movies. If we missed any, please let us know below in the comments, or tweet us if you're an audio listener and that sort of stuff, or just yell from a plane or a truck that passes by, anything like that. F9, the key you press to refresh, has also
Vin
been
Diesel's got
delayed.
a kid now, man.
Does he?
He's a father.
He had a.
recently a father.
You didn't see the last one?
Oh, I
thought we all-
No,
didn't we
I
all
only
see
saw
it?
Minions. I told you.
Do you only see every other one of these?
He and Michelle Rodriguez had that white kid.
I've only seen 1 and 3, honestly.
Well,
Those are the
Ryan-
only
You told
Fast
me
and
that.
Furious
Yeah,
movies I've
yeah.
seen in their entirety.
Ryan is
missing
the
out, dude.
biggest. Ryan's the biggest Fast and the Furious fan in here, so I'm going to let him catch us up on the story so far.
Dude, I mean, I'm the biggest Fast and the Furious fan, and I know about as much as James about the story. I know the last movie, there was big boom booms, Adam. And the one before that, there was even bigger boom booms and a big tank in a helicopter that went, woo!
Okay.
Those are the things I remember from these
Now,
movies.
what about 3 movies before that?
There was other boom booms, and
Okay.
other things. There was a crash or two. I can't tell you the story.
Okay. What about Hobbs
No
and
one
Shaw?
can. Not one human being can tell you on Earth.
This is it's so funny seeing this trailer and thinking about Paul Walker going like, I need to go undercover to stop this street racers from stealing
Yeah.
stereos from the back of semis. There's like secret societies and he just caught a car with his hands.
Yes.
Yeah. Nothing matters anymore. Well, that got delayed almost a year. That got pushed to April 2nd, 2021. It was supposed to come out 2 months from now, or a month from now. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, they want that
Sorry.
summer spot. That's the thing with some of these movies, though, is they're like, well, we could delay it to when this will probably be over, or we can delay it to the time when we know we're going to make the most money, which is
Right.
the summer.
Well, here's the question too: is like delaying it until it's over is a big question. When a lot of researchers think that, scientists think that, health officials think that there will be another wave of this, where it's like it's waves of like quarantine and social
even when,
distancing.
Yeah, even when it's quote unquote over, like, to be honest, like I everything I've been reading, it's like probably a year before everyone's like feels like it's okay
Comfortable.
to go, all right, I'm gonna go to the movies and feel okay
Yeah.
about it, or go to a fucking football game or
Yeah,
something.
but
Trust
I-
the man
I
in
saw-
the crown. He knows what he speaks of.
I'm the Tiger King.
I read an article this morning that was like predicting that there's going to be, yes, we might get past this one wave of like we're quarantining, we're distancing, but then come September, there's going to be that next wave of like, okay, we may have to do this again. So like a lot of,
Do you think
those
that would
companies,
just change? Who's going to be the first movie, do you think, that's going to step up and just go, screw it? It was going to be a theatrical release. We're selling it for ticket price. Buy it digitally.
It's already happening.
happened.
I can see The Hunt right now.
No,
Yeah.
On my
no. But
PlayStation.
that had a chance to be in theaters. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying one of these future movie releases. So at what point do they go, Quiet Place 2, screw it, we're just going to release it digitally now?
Well, I mean, the thing is, there's not even movies being made. Like, it's a question of, it's like, at some point we're going to run out of movies, maybe, or something like that. Like, because movies aren't being made. And so there's the question of, yeah, we can't go to the theaters and we can't see these movies. But then there's the other whole aspect of the formula, which is we also can't make movies because they require a ton of people to be closely working together for a really long time.
Yeah.
So, there's going to be that thing where it comes around and we're going to go, I think this is small potatoes in the grand scheme of things, obviously, but like there's going to be a part where it comes around and it's like someone can't even say, I want to make a movie just to release it on demand because they can't make the movie,
James Cameron is going to have to start doing like this kind of a setup where he's going to like be talking to Zoe Saldana, and he's like, all right, get your blue screen out, and I'm going to film this cool waterfall scene in your living room, and then everyone he's just going to direct
I think
it
he already
remotely.
does
think
that.
you'll get some inventive formats like movies like Unfriended and Searching that
Zoom the movie.
Zoom the movie. We should already just make Zoom the movie right now.
Yeah, we should.
It
Just
is a
write
horror story.
that takes place over.
We're in the middle
Zoom.
of it.
Yeah.
But,
they hacked my screen.
Yeah, I think you'll see like a few of those inventive formats merge up, but then you can have one or two of those, and then at that point
Right.
you're like, okay, this is exhausted. I'm not.
Well,
And then
Yeah.
15 years after it's no longer relevant, M. Night Shyamalan does it. You're like, bye.
Hey, The Visit was awesome.
Was it?
though?
It was awesome. Yes,
It's okay.
100%.
It was okay. Did it do anything new with? It's like
Yes.
it's like he just discovered that was a thing, and he's like, oh, I want to make one of those too. And everyone's like, one of what? He's like, found footage.
Sundowners.
Scary old people. How many scary old people movies are there? Not many.
Most of
It.
them, yeah.
People
It
Under the
chapter
Stairs.
2, like
No,
most.
these are real
The
scary
Shining.
old people. Found footage
Cocoon.
scary old people.
How's
footage scary old people doesn't exist.
How do old people have a bunch of GoPros in their house? Explain that.
They had a handy cam or whatever, right?
You see, here's the thing with The Visit. The girl wanted to be a filmmaker. And what people who want to be filmmakers do is they
Film
carry
everything all
handy
the time.
cams around and they film everything all the time with no regard for what or why.
Exactly. I have my
That's what you
cameraman
do.
right here, right off to the side. I have a cameraman guy that's just filming everything I do.
You
I can make this into
stolen-
something someday. What up, guys?
You have a stolen
keep
bus
rolling.
poster and a boomerang, and you're wearing a crown. And I'm rubbing lotion.
This is my
on
Tiger
hands.
King hat, baby. All right, I'm the Tiger King. We haven't even gotten there yet.
I think that's a Burger King hat. Well, that actually does segue us into our next part. I will finish out the rest of the delays shortly, but a lot of movies have just stopped production altogether. A lot of the live action Disney remakes may be a good thing, arguable, but the Batman stopped production altogether. I couldn't find any information on Dune. I don't know if that had finished. I believe it had already finished principal photography, but
Taz.
Yeah, Suicide Squad finished. Dune.
I think
maybe
Dune finished.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because
but
we have someone that was working on it, or know someone that knows someone.
so that was supposed to come out at some point this year. But a lot of movies, like, I don't know.
Matrix
it's-
4
once
got-
again. Oh yeah, Matrix 4 has been stopped. Fantastic
Sucks.
Beasts 3, which was being made. But then Top Gun Maverick was also, we haven't heard anything about that yet. Mission Impossible 7. Baz Luhrmann has an Elvis Presley documentary. I'm learning all these things that you put in here, Elise. Thank you. And Jurassic World
a
3,
between us.
probably the one that hurts the least.
Oh God, I couldn't bring
man.
myself to continue watching that second one. It was.
How
it
far
was
did you
bad.
get? You get to the
Probably
point where they
10 minutes.
where they go, we trained a dinosaur to kill anything that you point a laser at, and you're like, it's the greatest killing machine in the world, and they show off how cool that feature is by pointing a gun with a laser on it, and it's like, oh my gosh, you could kill that person. I'm like, yeah, if you just pull the trigger, that skips you the step of getting
The
a dinosaur
dinosaur.
to do it.
Yeah.
I hate that movie. That movie's maybe one of the worst movies ever made in my
I
opinion.
didn't watch it. I'm glad to know that, though.
Oh, you haven't seen it yet? It's
No, I missed it.
It has some redeemable qualities in the sense that it's terrible. That you go,
Yeah.
They were
Yeah.
on set and someone said, "Wait, hold on, you spend possibly billions of dollars getting these dinosaurs, and then you auction them off for it's like $4,000 or something." It was like,
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone knows that you take the dinosaur bones and grind them up as a cure for corona.
that'd be a better story. Well,
Yeah,
let's,
people right now are writing their coronavirus movies.
I'm gonna knock these out in order and in how much they hurt. But Spiral, the Jigsaw new movie coming out. That I don't know if anyone knew was a Jigsaw movie.
Chris Rock,
That-
I was looking forward
It's a
to
Chris
it.
Rock joint.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
They're rebooting Jigsaw. I think it's about time. That was supposed to come out in 2 months. A little indie movie, unspecified release date.
Fucking left field.
Yeah. It's a
Yeah.
shame.
Curveball.
And then after that, we'll hold that pump, my friend.
Yeah.
Because also getting delayed is the one we were all very much looking forward to, Morbius,
Yeah.
which was supposed to come out in
This
July.
This
after
hurts.
What is
after you
that?
film Morbius.
Excuse me?
He's the living vampire.
I
You
don't know about this one.
you schmuck.
Okay.
All right. Do you what's the most famous Marvel superhero of all time?
Marvel superhero of all time, Spider-Man.
Exactly. And name his greatest foe.
Dr. Octopus.
Morbius. It's Dr. Morbius, correct.
Okay. Cool.
And then the joke that keeps on giving, The New Mutants, which had
yeah.
an original release date of April 13th, 2018, was going to come out April 2020, and has now been pushed until 4 days after the Earth crashes into the sun.
It's great too because Maisie Williams is in it. And so like you'll have this time capsule. Like it's like, why is there a movie coming out with a toddler in it, even when the toddler is a full-grown adult?
Well, she's going to have to do press junkets for it. And they're like, why do you look 42 years older? That's weird. I don't understand. But man, there it is. Coming to Disney Plus soon. Calling it now.
Mm-hmm.
That is what I'm calling it. So
I mean, they should just get it out sooner than later. The sooner you push through this, the sooner we can move on to actual mutants in the Marvel Cinematic
And
Universe.
also you run the potential of a lot of movies that will come out in that lull, that January to to April lull, if they're at all decent, people are a lot more forgiving of them because they're desperate for something. So I feel like if you give this to people in a lull and they're just desperate, you might get a better reception than you would have had you given it a theatrical release up against some real competition.
Assuming it's good.
Assuming it's good. But again, people might be more forgiving is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
the bar is set lower.
Yeah. Even the technology in the movie, they're using iPads that you probably can't buy anymore. It just looks amazing. Well, that brings us to an end of all the movies that have been delayed. Sorry, everyone. I know it's a bit of a bummer, but we got it. We pulled the Band-Aid off. It's done. We can start focusing on really, really cool, positive things. Coming up next, but first, a quick word from our sponsor, Raycon. Hey everyone, Adam here. In this crazy time, I think one thing is certain more than most others. We need some wireless earbuds. Yeah, everything has gone wireless. And you know what? You shouldn't have to break the bank to get yourself a pair of great sounding earbuds. You already know about Raycon earbuds, and they start about half the price of any other premium wireless earbuds on the market, and they sound just as amazing as other top quality brands that you know. Their newest model, the Everyday E25 earbuds, are their best ones yet, with 6 hours of playtime, seamless Bluetooth pairing, more bass, and a more compact design that gives you a nice noise-isolating fit. Raycon's wireless earbuds are very comfortable. They're perfect for conference calls or binging on podcasts, something that we're all probably doing right now. We here at Funhaus love the rechargeable case, and above all else, the price. So pick up a pair and see what all the hype is about. Now is the time to get the latest and greatest from Raycon. Get 15% off your order at buyraycon.com/filmhouse. That's buyraycon.com/filmhouse for 15% off Raycon wireless earbuds. Once again, that is buyraycon.com/filmhouse. Thank you, Raycon. Okay, guys, it's been sweeping the nation, nay, the world. I'm sure an alien satellite has already picked up transmissions of what is being called the greatest show ever to be made, Tiger King.
Yeah, baby.
Right.
Tiger King. We love it.
We are doing our weekly Tiger King check-in as long as we can. Roll the graphic.
You have one? Cool.
Do you guys have it?
Whoa. Yes.
Wow.
Great.
Love
Yeah.
it.
Good job.
Love it.
Man.
Great.
Okay.
That's great.
So, a quick disclaimer before we get this thing over with. Elise had as always, had her finger on the pulse. I think the minute Tiger King released, she had already watched it. She already started and told everyone, you got to check out the show. It's amazing.
A friend recommended it to me. I can't take can't take the whole credit.
Was it Joe Exotic from prison?
Yeah.
It was just that one thing of him moving in 2 frames a second.
my friend messaged me and was like, "You gotta watch this thing. It's fucking insane."
I probably could not have come out at a more perfect time. This is our generation's Serial, though Serial was our generation's Serial.
Okay.
Where
Wasn't
just
that a whole generation ago.
well, the internet is a water cooler right now, and everyone's talking about it. I personally have not watched the entire show yet. I'm taking it in like an expensive wine.
Okay.
Just sipping it little by little. I think Jess and I are going to watch the 6th episode tonight. Taking it real slow.
Episode 6.
Oh my God. Okay, so this has got to be spoiler free for episode 6 right now. Shit.
I'm going to try it. Well, I wanted to ask the question: Is this a show that you should binge, or do you think it is worth kind of savoring, much like a tiger eating a future widow's husband?
You can't help but binge it.
That's what I'm going to say. It's like crack cocaine. You got to watch it.
You want the next hit.
Yeah, you want the next
I know,
hit, baby.
But
You should be
out.
consuming this show the same way a tiger consumes Walmart meat out of the back of a
Oh,
truck.
I thought you were going to say the way that a tiger consumed Carol Baskin's husband.
Oh, well, quickly and in the night.
Spoiler.
The show is so popular. Our good friend of the show, OJ Simpson,
Oh my God, yes.
spoke
Good
to
friend
his
of the
Twitter
show.
followers and actually had weighed in on a few parts of it. Pretty amazing. I mean,
What did OJ have to say?
something along the lines of like, from one murderer to another, I know when someone got away with it.
He's trying
I
to,
did
yeah.
it.
He says at the end, he's like, yeah, like my opinion, she's definitely that husband is tiger sashimi. It's like you wouldn't fucking know, OJ. All right, chilling.
Yeah,
Well,
it's like when OJ looking down on you, you got problems.
Yeah, it's
you know?
fucking real.
Well, he then calls out white people, but let the record show he's lived in Brentwood and I have not. So
True.
must be nice, rich Hollywood football player. But I had some questions for you guys. I want to play a little game on this Tiger King check-in. My question for my panelists today: who is the least worst person on that show?
It's definitely the campaign manager.
Well, hold on. I made a list.
I don't know that I agree with that. He's like, listen, I'm a libertarian. That being said, I helped try and get a psychopath elected. I don't know that.
He knew that he was never get elected. He was just psyched to be part of the campaign, and it's his first real job. I agree that it is a little dubious to be like, try and get that guy actually elected. You're fucking with the democratic system, but yeah, you're right. He's not a saint.
Now hold on. Here. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Elise.
No, go continue.
Oh no, I was gonna say I narrowed it down to 4 characters because I knew this would happen. Where there are 2 for a fictionalized documentary. Like there are way too many characters in this that people attach themselves to.
That don't seem real.
Crazy.
I love them all too.
It's insane. So I narrowed it down to 4 people, more or less the main characters of the show. The Joey kind of shows up later, but so we got Joe Exotic, Carol Baskin, Doc Antle, and Jeff Lowe.
Well, all those are terrible people. Are you saying
are terrible
first
people.
question?
Yeah.
Who is the least worst out of all
those 4?
Adam, it's funny that you are asking us this because I recently did a BuzzFeed quiz that was asking, it gave you like everyone on the Tiger King show and it asked you whether you thought they were innocent or guilty. And then it compared your answer versus, the answers they had been gathering. And I think the highest ranking was his worker that got their arm bit off.
Yes, that's what I was going to say.
Had the highest score for being innocent.
The closest to being a good person.
But I will say, I feel so genuinely bad for the 3 husbands now, I guess, that he had, because they're clearly young guys that he's grooming and enticing with meth.
6, by the way.
So
I'm
here's
so sorry. It's so hard. I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine. As someone who hasn't gotten all the way through the series, Jess and I have had conversations where we're like this exact thing of well, who's the worst person? Who's the best person? I think my webcam froze. Did it freeze?
It froze for us.
Did.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're back.
Now it's back.
Okay, it's back. Sorry. We'll cut that out. Omar, cutting that out.
Let's clap. Yeah.
Sorry. So Jess and I were talking about who is the worst. And at one point I was like, I think Joe Exotic, I think he's at least real. He's a real person. And another episode of Playgo, he's terrible. He's the worst person in the world. Mm-hmm. I hate everyone on this show. Sorry. I hate these 4 people probably the most. Mm-hmm. But of them, I'm trying to figure out who is the least worst, and I can't.
I've thought about it, and of your 4, I mean, they all have very big checks against them. But I think I would have to go with Doc, even though he has a harem of young underage or not underage women, but young women. That's his biggest check against him. But I mean, the other people are literally trying to put hits out and murder people. All right, I mean, Joe Exotic is a fun guy to watch, but I mean, him and Jeff Lowe are totally involved in, this hit for hire, it seems. So I'm going to take that and say that they're worse than Doc for that reason alone. Carol Baskin, I believe she murdered her husband, so she's a murderer. Therefore, Doc is the angel by comparison.
Oh, okay.
I mean, what do you guys think? What's your answer?
I mean, it's this the thing about Doc is that one woman who got away, and her description of what he does to enslaving,
grooming those women.
Hey, I'm not saying he's
young
good.
girls.
I mean,
I'm not either. But I'm just saying it sounded like Carol Baskin's husband was kind of an asshole.
What?
So I mean, I'm telling you, I don't know that I believe that I don't know that it's not about anyone deserving to die. I don't know that I believe necessarily the show doesn't make it completely 100% certain that she killed anyone. It's pure conjecture from the point of view of the people that hate her the most.
Well, here's the thing though, do I know that she killed her husband? I don't. But all those people that they interview that talk about how he went missing, he was rich, he didn't take any of his money with him. It's just so crazy that would happen, and then his ex-wife and daughters, the way they talk about it.
It
Listen to OJ.
is. I think something definitely happened to him, but I don't. They established that before she even entered his life, he was a double life leading sketchy dude who did what he wanted to do. So like, I'm just saying in terms of the morality meter, like every one of those 4 people are only
garbage.
in it for themselves. I think
2 things though, like if I watched the documentary, I would think like, yeah, she's crazy, she did this. But I read about this podcast that is actually about the same events as Tiger King, which apparently presents all the events in a much more measured way. Like just reading about people that have listened to the podcast, they're like, oh, the podcast like takes things out of context, or it like does, manipulate some things. Sorry, the show.
Yeah.
The show does that. And I also read an AMA recently from a former volunteer from Big Cat Rescue, Carol Baskin's Rescue. And it was really interesting because she, by all accounts, the person that answered this AMA, by all accounts, seemed very normal, very sensible, and like they were leading just a pretty decent, like average life. Like she, I think, was working as a vet now or something, but she only described doing that, volunteering there, as very glowingly. And do I think that maybe, people hire
It's one person at least.
It's one person. And do I think that people might hire someone to write an AMA?
Hell
if
yeah,
they did
would.
hire this person, it was amazingly written to make this person seem very genuine.
you should always, the thing about documentaries, especially documentaries on Netflix, like things that aren't, oh, we went to Iran to, see what it's like for these women, like not those documentaries that are sensationalized, trending #1 on Netflix and stuff, are designed to be narrative.
Absolutely.
And designed to convey the most compelling version of this documentary story. And I think that's what makes them so entertaining and amazing to watch. Part of me thinks that's an even greater achievement than if you had written those characters and conveyed this story, because you had to take this material, interpret the material, and figure out a way to make it slot into our brain's exact desire for what a narrative structure is and what characters should be like. That being said, I think that of those 4 people, all of them are pretty self-centered and only willing to project their personal viewpoint of the world on everyone else, as opposed to ever taking anything in. But I don't know that's the kind of thing where just because there's an episode devoted to her potentially killing her husband that I'm going, there, she did it, the case closed kind of thing.
Okay, I mean, yeah. I mean, as a editor myself, James, and who manipulates you guys saying stuff all the time,
Absolutely.
I totally get it. I take everything in any of these movies with a grain of salt. I mean, it's totally for entertainment, and then I do love it now how when one of these things comes out, like a Serial or The Jinx or whatever, then you really can do all the supplemental online research for yourself and kind of see like, all right, how did all these characters feel like they were portrayed in the thing, and then you can kind of really get an overall feeling of like what the truth, quote unquote, is. And yeah, I mean, obviously it was made for TV and stuff, but for me, the most compelling evidence, and it's not really even evidence at all, but it's like them talking to the missing dude's family and just like, they obviously were close with her at some point, and just the look in their eyes and stuff. I mean, just like they're like, yeah, we know for a fucking fact she did it. Like, and she had the means to do it, and she's evil enough to do it. I mean, yeah, I don't know for sure if it was a court of law, if I'm on the jury, I don't know if I'd convict, but watching that and watching those people talk about her like that, I mean, my hunch if I was going to put money on it, I'd say she did it.
In that Reddit AMA, they
one last thing is then we have to move on.
I was just gonna say, in that Reddit AMA, they talk about how like, or the woman that did it, she talked about how like it's not even that easy to get a tiger to eat human meat. Like they're fairly fickle, more fickle than you might think. And like, I guess maybe if you like starved a tiger and then did it,
I think the feeding him to the tiger thing is probably, I probably don't believe that. I think that she probably had other means to just get rid of him.
It's Florida, man.
Dig a hole in the desert. I don't know.
Adam, what do you think? As someone who's going on episode 6, where do you think this series is going?
I'm not allowed to have, I mean, it ends up with Joe Exotic in jail for some sort of hit job that he does because he's becoming increasingly paranoid. I have no idea. He could end up being a time traveler, and they have to stop him from killing JFK. That could be a thing. I don't know. I'm at a loss for what it is, but God, I love every second of it.
Good. That's what makes it so good.
Well, I don't think we've landed anywhere close. Up to you guys. We can call it here, or I have another segment where we can determine who's the best person on the show, or we can save that for next time after.
Wait, wasn't the first question who is the least bad? And now the next question is who's the best?
Who's the best person?
Do you mean the best is in like entertaining or in?
No, like who's an actual genuine good person?
It's a
on
person
the show. It's a different list of people.
It's a dude who's got his arm eaten off.
Oh, give us your list, Adam.
Oh yeah, so we got Eric Cowie, who he looks kind of like Iggy Pop. He's a cool dude. And then there's Rick Kirkham. He's the reality TV producer. Seems to only want to make one thing. There's Kelsey, the one-armed worker who Ryan mentioned, and then Eric Good, the filmmaker, who is actually making this whole thing and somehow didn't blow his brains out or get killed in the making of
and
this
the
film.
campaign manager is not in that one.
No,
that list.
I love that campaign manager.
When I made this list, I had not seen episode 5 yet. So, but that poor individual. Yeah. Why does my webcam keep freezing? I don't know.
It catches up to itself.
I'm still going Kelsey, I guess.
Yeah. Should we just go around the horn and everyone?
Sure. Go? Yeah. I don't know if this one needs as much discussion, but yeah.
Yeah. It's her, Kelsey.
You're gonna go Kelsey.
That's the person's name.
Ryan, what about you?
I'm kind of convinced. At first, I went with the campaign manager, but for the reasons you said, I think Kelsey, is in it for the fucking Tigers and nothing else. Went back to work right after got his arm eaten off. I mean, that's freaking badass. So probably Kelsey.
Adam?
I kind of like the Eric Cowie character only because there's a part where they ask him about Doc and said, how many wives do you think Doc's had? And he goes, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I love what was his name? The other guy that Jeff was going to start another Tiger thing with. What's his name? Tim something.
I know you're talking about his buddy who is like, he's just like, I've worked with him a few times. And then he's like, I was in jail for 15 years, got out.
Oh, no. Like, that guy was the hitman guy. That guy sucks. I'm talking about the dude who was another Tiger Cat person who was building the zoo.
Oh, yeah.
That guy's awesome. Everything he said, I cracked up at. But
no.
He's not a good guy, though.
My vote goes to Shaq.
Oh, yeah.
Shaq.
Is Shaq in it? Shaq shows up?
He was already in it, I'm pretty sure, because Shaq was like, they showed how Tiger King, his zoo was so popular. Zach's like, I went to this place, Exotic Joe showed me around. He got his name wrong.
I'm realizing Jeff Lowe looks like somehow the more successful Jigsaw brother.
Yeah, I can see that.
He kind of looks like the brother of Jigsaw. I'm realizing with the
somebody told me
shitty goatee.
I saw some meme that said that he looks like if gas station boner pills were a person.
Oh God.
Sure.
I think we said if like the outside of a Vegas casino was a person, it'd be Jeff Lowe. It's just why is he wearing a do-rag and a leather jacket in Ohio when it's clearly hot out?
Outfit, dude.
They're all terrible people.
Did you get to the part where he talked about how he was hiring his babysitter or what? Like, he's like, we're hiring a nanny, and then he holds up the picture of the nanny. Have you seen that yet, Adam?
Not yet.
Okay.
I have our rules.
I imagine it can only go one of
what
two
trash.
ways with this.
What trash.
It is it's a beautiful train wreck that we can't look away from. So thank you, Elise, for making this show.
Yes.
It's so
I made
good.
It. I dreamt it.
If you haven't checked it out, you probably already stopped listening or watching this podcast. But that brings us to an end of our Tiger King check-in and the end of this week's episode of Filmhouse. I want to thank everyone for coming onto the show, and thank you, Raycon, our sponsor. We'll be seeing you guys next week. Until then, well, Ryan's got to go. Okay,
He's taking his crown. He's taking off his crown.
I'm taking my crown off to say salutations and good day to all my tiger. What do you call them? I'm the Tiger King. So what are you guys?
We're your cubs.
Tiger Dukes.
Oh yeah, my Tiger Dukes and princesses and queens. See y'all next week.
All right.
Is Joe Exotic your uncle?